Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm just here to continue with my junky junk journal that you know, I'm making at the moment. So last time we just completed a couple of pages in here. So I'm just going to continue on really with the same, you know, the same theme. So we're just using a variety of just junk really that's laying around on my desk. So you know, hopefully I'm not going to get too caught up in, you know, what's going where and things like that. I just want to, you know, stick things in and go for it really. So, you know, I randomly pick pages when I do my journals. So might just go for these pages here. So let's just have a look. So all I've done here, I've taken some of my background pages and I've just made a little pocket here. So we can have that down on this page. Let's have a look. I've just got some, you know, like minuscule scraps of sheet music. I've got this. So, you know, I mean, I'm just grabbing things from around the desk, seeing whether I've got anything that we could, you know, marry up with this. And if I don't fill this page today, I will just stop this page and come back to it another time, you know, and move to a different page for today. You know, it's not a, you know, we don't have to do this page. Because sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but, you know, a page won't come together straight away. And if that's the case, there's no point mucking about with that page, because it might just be, you know, for whatever reason, you're not feeling that page that day. But next time you come to it, you know, you may well then find it does come together. So, you know, there's no point wasting time on something you're not feeling at that particular moment. So I've just trimmed this piece up. And obviously where I've now trimmed it, it's now not stuck particularly great. So I'm just tucking in, or, you know, gluing around the edge where I've just cut it down, because, you know, we don't want it obviously coming apart. So there we go. Just wanted to make it a bit smaller, because obviously when I was first thinking about this page, which, you know, I haven't managed to get this page to come together yet, I had wondered about having, you know, a pocket up here and a pocket here. I don't know whether this pocket's too big to do that formation, so it may be that that's what's, you know, not working for me. So I'm just having a look to see whether I might be better off doing a different formation here. So I might prefer something like that. Again, let me just pull in my Reader's Digest book and just see whether there's any other images that I could use, you know, to make quite a smallish tuck spot just in the bottom corner. So let's have a look. There's loads of lovely images in here, but whether they're quite what you're looking for, you know, just depends really. They're very fun, these images. Although when you actually look at them sometimes, you know, they're people with guns and, you know, not necessarily things that you actually do want in your journals. But, I mean, like this looks really fun at first glance, but the man's shooting at something. So, you know, you have to be a bit careful, because they might not be quite as fun as you first think. I wonder about that one. Or this one. Let's pull these two out. Oops. We could have her, I guess. And she's a bit too skinny. You see, she would be better that side. Well, to be fair, there's no reason I couldn't do her that side. So let's just tear around this so as I see roughly, you know, where it would be on the page. That's how that would look. Not sure. Might be that I'm still not feeling this page and I have to actually come back to this one, you know, because as I say, you know, sometimes I just can't see a page working. Right, let's just go to another one. So it doesn't matter. I've got this one which I tore out last time, so this just obviously lends itself to a belly band. So I'm just going to glue this down. You know, obviously I'm keeping this very simple. My sewing machine's not here, so you know, I'm just, yeah, keeping it simple and you know, hopefully kind of nice and easy. If you wanted to do anything similar, it's nice excuse me, nice and easy to do. So I've got that piece that we could have there. Again, might want to take some background page. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah, I like that straight away. So you see, sometimes the pages, you know, I can't get the page to come together, but go to a different page and instantly, you know, you get a feel for how you want it to be. So straight away, as soon as I placed that there, I thought, oh yeah, that looks really nice. You know, so there's no point probably wasting time on a page where, you know, you're not quite able to do it. Just leave that page and go back to it another time, because, you know, different day, it might be completely different, and, you know, you'll straight away be able to then, you know, get a feel for it and actually get it to work how you want it to work. Now, kind of thinking this piece goes really well colour wise, so that's a possibility. That piece also goes really well. So let's have a look at what else we've got. So actually bin a piece of rubbish there that was just not being very helpful, laying about on my desk. Right, got lots of stamped pieces here. That's quite nice, isn't it? Also got these big flowers. I know they're not quite really in keeping with what we've done so far, but they are nice, aren't they? Now I've also got some denim here, which, oops, just knocked something off, so that's one less thing that we can use now. Right, got some denim. Let's just see whether, let me just cut this out. So I'm just going to try and randomly cut this in a heart. Don't know whether this will work. Don't even know whether it would go on the page anyway, but you know, we'll just see. Oh my gosh, Butterfingers today. Just dropped it completely. Right. Oh my gosh, look at that awful looking heart. That looks terrible, doesn't it? Let me try and cut this down a bit, because my gosh, I made a terrible job of that. Oh my gosh, I think I've just made an even worse job, would you believe? Look at the size of that side. I mean, I was trying to do like a, you know, a tipsy type heart, but my gosh, there's tipsy and there's tipsy, isn't there? You know, that just looked appalling. It still looks appalling, to be honest. Oh, perhaps I will have to knot the denim on the head for today, because I mean, again, a bit like if you're not feeling a page, you know, if you're not able to cut the piece on that particular day, just maybe give it a miss and, you know, come back to it another time. So, you know, I was going to do something like that, but it's not looking good, so I'm not going to bother, I think. Right, so let's have a look here. So I'm wondering if we could have a little fold out here. So just fold that down the side. And obviously glue that there. So, okay, I like that. So I'm just going to cut this down here, just because it was a little bit on the long side. Oh gosh, look at the terrible state. I don't know what's going on with my with my cutting, with my folding, with my eyes today. Not making a good job of any of this stuff. Right, let's just, oh gosh, what is going on with me? Right, let's now bring this one in a bit. Okay, that's a little bit better. Right, so if we had that as a little flippy fold out like that. So I like that. And if we had these down here, we could always tuck that little flap behind this ticket. So that's quite good and works quite well. So let's glue that down before I change my mind or forget what I'd planned. That's more likely, forget what I've actually said I will do. So just stick that one down like that. Okay, so we've got that one there, like that, and then just going to tuck it behind that ticket, just there, I think, maybe just there. So, I mean, you only need the very minimal part of that ticket to hold that down, hopefully, you know, I could be wrong. Let's just try it here. Hope I haven't glued it down. Looks I should untuck it just in case. Okay, so might just go for this one and glue our belly band piece on. Well, actually I'm going to make it a pocket rather than a belly band, so I'm just going to glue it round on the edge. That. Okay, and then we can take our little butterfly there that's on the card, and that's the one that, you know, I misstamped that, so, but hopefully it still looks okay. And I might put the butterfly on a piece of this fabric, the kind of crinkly fabric here. So I'll just cut around that. Just, I think, pop that down like that. Just for a bit more interest, really. So again, I'll just use that fabric glue. Glue our little chipboard piece down. Okay, so that looks nice. Right, what else have I got here laying around? Oh, got that nice gold crown. That's rather nice, isn't it? Got these blue flowers, which I just spotted. They may be too blue. I have got, what else have I got? I've got this rose cameo, quite nice, and just look at that colour match, perfect. In fact, I might have to put that on there. That looks really good. If I should have it like that. Oh yeah, that's really nice. So, right, let's pop this one down in the corner. Like that. Okay, pop this cameo down. Just sort of roughly in the centre. I mean, obviously, you know, I'm just doing this by eye, but hopefully it's good enough in the centre there. Okay, right. So I like how that one looks. So moving on to obviously the facing page. So it might be time to mix it up perhaps with some of the other style pictures. So more the black and white pictures, I think. Actually, tell you what else I've got. I've got some paper bag, which I always love using the buff coloured card. So, oops, okay. So I might just tear this down a bit. So this just small paper bag, but again, it's just laying here on the desk. But, you know, I just always think it's such a great colour. You know, I really like using it. So, yeah, I'm going to just glue that down. So, again, I'm just going for this without overthinking it. I'm going to glue it down this side because this seems to be like the rough side. So, hopefully it would glue down better. And get that up as close as I can to the edge of the page. Now, my pages aren't perfectly straight because, you know, I didn't cut them with a paper trimmer or anything. I just cut them freehand. I mean, I don't mind that, but obviously, you know, some people wouldn't like that. Just checking what time it is and, you know, where I'm up to time-wise. So, I quite like how that's all looking. Now, let's have a look what we want here. So we could have a little ujimi flip here. I'm thinking maybe another one of those little paper ruffles or something, because obviously, you know, that would look really good with the colour from the other side. And I'm just wondering whether I might prefer, oh yeah, I do. I prefer, you know, that kind of picture, I think, rather than the book image. So I've just, you know, ruffling my scrappy fabric up. Not fabric, sorry, my scrappy... Oh, why can I not remember any words today? My scrappy piece. So again, let me grab my stapler. So, and again, you know, I'm just going to try and just ruffle this up, but super roughly, you know. I don't want it to look like I've spent a long time, you know, getting the ruffles even or anything like that, because, you know, obviously that would just spoil that rustic, eclectic look that I'm trying to achieve. So, nearly done. Okay, not very exciting watching this. I know it's a bit like probably watching paint dry, just somebody folding over the paper. Right. Okay, so that's my little ruffle. It just ties the blue in, doesn't it? You know, looks really nice. Now, I had quite a colourless butterfly here somewhere. I guess I won't be able to find it now. No, I don't think I can. Got some of that lovely washi tape that we made. I wonder if that might look. It's quite dark compared to our piece here, so maybe that's not ideal. But I wonder if I've got. No. Now I'm just having a look to see what other of these vintage type book images I've got here, which I thought I had some buried in my pile here to the side, because the one that I've got placed there at the moment, I have actually already backed it onto you know, quite plain paper, so it's ideal for a journaling card really, rather than, you know, rather than being stuck down. So let me just see what else I've got. I've got this one, I've got that one. It's not the right shape, unfortunately. Right, let me just flick through and see whether I've got any other portrait style of the vintage, you know, from the vintage book. Oh, just typical that I don't appear to have. Nope. No, I haven't. Oh, would you believe it? Okay, I mean, I do really like that, but I had already backed it, you know, to use it as a card, so it just seems a bit of a shame to actually now have it stuck down, you know, like that. Right, I'm having another rummage through, because I have got some other book pages on my desk here. It's just a case of finding them in amongst the piles of rubbish that are just here. Oh, come on. Oh, no, that's just right off at a different tangent. So, no, not right. I mean, it would look pretty, but for me, that's just, you know, a bit of a step too far, I think, because it's not really in keeping with it at all, with what else we've got going on. I mean, that's quite nice, but again, it's not really, it's not as good as that other piece. I may have to give in and use that other piece, which is pretty annoying. You know, I wish I hadn't now glued it onto the plain paper. I've got this lady card. What else have I got here? Oh, I mean, you name it, it's here. So it's obviously such a stroke of luck having such a messy desk, because, you know, there's nothing that you haven't got already piled up here. So it is very, very handy. Nothing you haven't got except for the pieces that you want. I've just spotted that here underneath all of this rubbish, so that's quite handy because that would be just ideal. I've also just spotted this. So all of these things are just going to go in here quite well, I think. So just cut this one out. So I can just tuck that into another page somewhere. We did a page, I think, that had quite a bit of yellow, so I'll just pop that, I think, in here, just behind there. Okay, back to this page. So, right. So, I mean, she's quite nice, but I have to be honest, not as good as this one. Looking more and more like I'm just going to have to just use this one. So annoying as that is, I think, you know, it's just won me over really. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to go for that. Right, having a look now to see whether I can find the butterfly that I thought I had here just now, which now I can't find at all. I've got a pinkish one, it's not quite right. And I have got a couple more. Oh, I've got a little teacup. That's quite sweet, isn't it? No? Right. Okay, well I've got these ones. They're not the ones I was, or the one that I was hunting for, but it will do. So these are some stamped butterflies that I happen to have just in my stash. Okay. Oh gosh, I'm making such a terrible job of cutting today. Don't know why. Just some days worse than others. Let's try and cut that middle bit out of there. Okay. Now I'm just wondering whether I need to have anything else behind there. For instance, this. That's quite nice, isn't it? Let's just tear this down. So I might just tear it down here. Maybe just have it more like that, because oddly enough I quite liked this piece actually in the middle. Very rarely would just have it in the middle of the page like that, but it was kind of crying out to be in the middle somehow, I felt. Oh yeah, that's quite nice. Right, so let's go for it like that. So I'm just going to stick this paper down like that. Okay. And just pop that, you know, close-ish to the edge. Like that. And then I'm going to have this one as a might have it as a pocket, you know, rather than a tuck spot. So yeah, going to just stick it down on 3 sides. Like that. Okay, pop that down like that. And then just going to have this little piece here, this one here. And then where did I have the butterfly just now? Did I have it actually over the piece? That really is quite far over. I struggle to get anything in that pocket. Oh well. It's a bit late now because that glue is, you know, fast drying. Certainly was fast drying then. It's not always quite so fast. Not fast when you want it to be. It certainly was pretty speedy then, so no room for mistakes or moving things about now. Right, pop that there, and then I'm just going to have my ruffly paper just going off at an angle across there, I think. Okay. Okay, how nice does that look? And then the butterfly probably there, I think. So I'm just going to hot glue this on because, you know, it's instant and it's down then. I don't have to worry at all, you know, about it again. So how cute does that page look? Love it. So now we obviously need to pop some sort of journaling cards in. I've got this, which again is a bit of an offcut, so I might just pop this onto, again, a bit of book page here. Like that. Okay. Right, just going to cut that down. Oh, look at what I've done. I had two pieces together, which, how annoying is that? Ugh, very annoying. Right. Okay. So that's that piece. And then what I could do, got these little label pieces here. Just take one of those, cut that down. Like that. And then I think I'll just pop that there to the side. So I'll just glue it kind of halfway, like that. Pop that down. Okay. And actually, what we could do is wrap it round. Then you've got a bit of ticket on the back as well, which is really rather nice, isn't it? So we just do that. Okay. That's cute, isn't it? So should we round the corners of this? Check the time. Right, I've got some blue fabric here, which I just wonder whether we should use that as the tab or whether that's a little bit too dark. Well, it might be quite nice for a bit of contrast, mightn't it? So let's just take a bit of that. So I'll just tear it down. Oops, look at how skinny that's gone. Okay, so I'm just going to staple that on like that. And just cut that excess bit of fabric off the back. Oh, super cute. So that can just go into that one like that. And then on the facing page, let's just have a look around the desk. Sorry for knocking the desk again. So again, just take some scraps that I have got here. I might as well use this now because, you know, I'd obviously chopped it down. So let's just cut that to size. Just glue that on there. Okay. Come on. Just glue that down. Like that. And then cut that in a bit. And I always like to cut it in, you know, a millimetre or two because, I know I've said this tons of times, but I always repeat myself in case there's people who are new to my channel and, you know, if they're just starting out or anything, you know, they might not realise why I'm doing things. So the reason I cut it in is because invariably my glue probably hasn't gone right to the edge. So by cutting it in, I'm, you know, hopefully going to get to the edge that I might have missed. So let me cut this down quite a bit because obviously it's too long, and then I'm going to have to glue that down a bit more because I've obviously chopped the end where I had applied the glue. Oops. Okay, so take my glue back. Well, she says, now I can't get it open, so perhaps my glue is... Well, flukily my glue seems to be on there, but weirdly not at this end, so just going to glue this end down a bit, like that. Okay. Right, so now I just want to do something that's going to, you know, bring the pieces together on the page. So I could just stick that down, I think. So this is just a stamped teacup onto this buff coloured paper. So, you know, it works nicely because obviously the buff colour we've already used elsewhere. And again, I might just round the corners of that. And actually, I've got this strange urge now to just draw a black line around it, but I don't think I've got a thin Sharpie. I've only got those great big fat ones. So I think what I'm going to do is take my black StazOn. Now this isn't my newest one because my newest one's pretty inky, you know, juicy. So this is an older one, but I'm just going to edge around that. So hopefully you can see what's going on there. It's just picking up a little bit of black around the edge. It's just making it stand out a little bit. And obviously, you know, ties that in again with any black that's going on the page. So, you know, small things, but they do make quite a big difference, I think. So let's tuck that in. Okay, so another page completed. So I'm liking how it's looking so far. It looks cute. So we come turn over the page, and again, you know, I'm really not worrying about what pages I'm picking. I'm just, you know, randomly going around the pages. So let's have a look and see what we want to do here. Let's have a look. So I've got some more of that background page now. Let's have a think. Right, let's try making one of those skinny pockets that we've made before. So let's just tuck in the top triangle like that. I might as well just glue these bits down as I'm going, because otherwise, you know, I'm only going to have to unfold it and, you know, then glue it down. So I'll just do it as we go. That's that piece, and then tuck this piece in like that. Okay. I'm thinking that that lady journaling card that I pulled in earlier, she's going to make it somewhere into the journal, because she's in my eyeline now, and I don't know why, but something about her kind of says that she needs to go in here. So I'm going to try and get her in somewhere. Right. Pop that down like that. Glue this bottom piece down like that, and then glue this piece down. Now I'm just going to fold this up and see where my pocket's going to be. So about here. Okay. So that just gives me a bit of guidance then for where I need to, you know, apply my glue on this portion. And then we're going to glue this pocket down like that. Okay. Put a bit of extra glue on. That's that piece. And then I just need to now glue down this side strip. Just there. Okay. So we've now got, you know, a tall pocket that we can have somewhere. So again, let's just see what pieces that we want to have from the book. And we could have this lady in this pocket. Let's get rid of that man for a minute. So if we wanted her there, and then I've still got that awful looking heart that I cut, but although it was awful, you know, it might just have a place somewhere in the book, so I'm not going to write it off just yet. You know, because what doesn't look good on one thing can look perfectly fine on something else, can't it? So have it like that. Look. Let's just trim this down. Like that. Right, so let's tear that down because it's a bit weird. We can see those hands there, which just looks strange, don't they? Let's see whether we want a ticket with her. Have it like that. That's quite nice, isn't it? Get rid of that. Now I feel like we need something else with her, so let's just have a look. Got some decoupage napkin here, so in fact let's tear that. Now it's some very thick card, so it might not be ideal because it might just be, you know, much too thick. Oh, I think I did quite like that heart there, actually. Bizarrely enough, you know, it did add a little something to that. So let's just have a look. Now, is it that she looks too modern? Do we think? Oh, no, definitely not. Let's have another look. Just having another look around. An envelope here. Right. No. Right, let's have another rummage about. See what else we've got here. Right, I think what I'm going to do is stick this piece down again before I change my mind, because I do like this piece, I think. So, you know, if I find something that is working, I should just really stick it down before I change my mind. So I like that. And I do really like this decoupage napkin, oddly enough. Let me just check what the time is, because, you know, I haven't looked for a little while. So just Just want to check that we're not really running over. Again, push that back up. Struggling to keep in frame for some reason with these ones. Right. Got this. I wonder whether we should swap that pocket for a different colour. That's quite nice, isn't it? Or for some sheet music. Right. So I'm going to just glue over this. I'm having a few problems with my glue, so just bear with me a moment. Okay. Now try and get that roughly in the middle of that sort of framed part. So I'm going to just cut that down like this. Okay, cut it down at the bottom and then cut the other side. Okay. For some reason it just, to me, just needed, you know, a bit of contrast, I thought. So I think that's a bit better. And we've got this here. I'm going to have this somewhere on the other page. I don't know whether I like her on there, I think is the issue. So let me just again pull in my Reader's Digest, see what else we've got in here. These are all quite large images, unfortunately, so they're a bit too big to use. Oh, look at these gorgeous images here. Thing is, these are so nice, I don't want to actually tear them apart. So what's that one? Oh, that's a doctor's bag. And then I've got like animal-y type ones, which, you know, I don't really want in this journal, I think. So let's have a look and see whether we can do anything with either of these. Because again, you know, sometimes it's just a case of finding the right image, isn't it? It might just be that I need to change the image around. Oh, I don't really like that one either. What's going on? Why can I not find one that's looking just, you know... Ah, maybe this one. Now, I was loath to cut this up because I love this image here. It's so cute, isn't it? Let's have a look and see how I can use this. So if I'm careful, I could probably use it in 2 halves, so that I've got, you know, two pieces out of this. So let's just do that. Tear it up there. Right. So I will tear it down, obviously, so we've not got such a large piece. Yep, that's cute, isn't it? I like it on that pocket, but now I'm not too sure about the other pieces. So again, this might be one that I'm going to have to move to another page. You know, the actual pocket itself. So let's just pop that on there. Like that. Yeah, might have to move this to another page. Now let me check what the time is. Okay, I've got like 10 minutes if we're aiming for about an hour. So let's just take this now. I'm going to leave that on there because I did rather like that. We'll take this to another page, I think. So I did have got the centre signature, so let's have a look and see whether we could do anything here. So what we could do, oh, that might be quite nice. We could have a belly band here. Yeah, let's do that, I think. So let's just check whether I'd like to have anything behind there. Or maybe that moved over. Yeah, I quite like that. So again, let me just take some other book page. So again, I'm just going to pick one that, you know, hasn't got an image that I really want to use. So I might take this one because to me that looks very cluttered, and you know, I'm probably not really likely to use that image. And just cut this down like that. And then just glue this on. I just need to poke my glue a little bit because I notice it's not really wanting to come out and play the game today. Right, so I'm just going to glue this down. Okay. Put the lid on that for a moment. So actually I'll glue it right over to the edge. And I have less cutting, so that's that one. And then, I mean, you could always actually double that over so it's stuck twice, you know, for extra thickness. I mean, I don't necessarily think it really needs it, to be honest, but particularly once the glue dries, it then does toughen it up quite considerably. But, you know, we'll just do that just to be on the safe side. So just glue that down like that. Okay, so I'm going to just move that to one side for a moment. Now, just want to now glue this one down because I liked how that looked running down at the edge. So again, just, you know, these papers, as I say, they're not A4, so, oh, that's upside down. Is that upside down? Yeah. Oh, what a shame. Let me pull in something else instead. Ah, right, okay, very similar. So I should just tear down this one instead. There we go, that's better. So again, just going to trim that down at the length, like that. Right, let's glue this onto the page. Like that. Okay. Right, that's glued down. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim my belly band piece just down like that. Just trim it this side as well. Oops. Oh, my cutting is literally appalling today for some reason. I have no idea why, but it looks shocking. Right. Okay, I don't know what's going on with this piece, look. Right, tidied that up a little bit. Not perfect still, but better. So it's better than it was. Okay, so we're going to have that as a belly band. We're going to have this as a little pocket. So we might not have time to get all of it down. But we finally got some bright pinkish colour. So we can finally kind of add a little bit of, you know, brighter colours. Now, what did I do with that label? There it is. So again, you can just have that label there. We have the flower here. Maybe postcard up there or something. And then on this one, now I've actually got these flowers, which Now, are they too bright? I tell you what, actually, whilst I just noticed how unstraight that edge is. Okay. Right, trim that up, and then just going to grab some paper. So just some coffee dyed paper that I've got here. And I think what we'll do is just make a little fold out. Are you going now then, Mac? Yeah. Okay then, have a nice time, sweetheart. All right, see you later. Love you. Right, so we just pop that on there. Right. So just pop that. Fold that up a little bit, and then probably fold it another time, and then make our little flap there, like that. So perhaps we'll have it up high this time. And now what I'm wondering then, because this looks very yellow, you know, compared to the pieces that we're using, I'm just going to cut this flower out because, you know, these flowers will look good with that bright colour on here, I think. So it's nice to be able to have a bit of colour. Otherwise it's all quite muted looking, so there we go. Oh my gosh, I made a terrible job of cutting that one as well, so oh well, never mind. Right, so what I might do is round the corners here. Right, not made a very good job of rounding those corners either now. Oh well. So I'm going to glue this flap on at the back. Like that. That's glued down now. Okay. And then, oops, turn it over. Might add some string around this, and obviously the string is of course on my desk, so you know, that's all in keeping with the just using things on my desk, because definitely that's always on there. Well, except for occasionally when it gets so far buried that I actually can't find it, but I mean it's always on there somewhere. It's just whether or not I can see it. So we've got the string. So let's glue that down. Okay. And then I will put something on there, you know, I won't just leave that plain, but I haven't quite decided what yet. So just come into this side, we're going to have this here. Actually, might have that flower there. Oh, that looks cute, doesn't it? Maybe like that. Just see what else I've got. I think I might need to match those flowers up. No, not that fabric piece. What else have I got here? I've got a little ticket. It's very yellow. Got a little heart frame. Again, that's very yellow. Got some lilac pieces. That's not right either. You see, even having all this rubbish everywhere, still haven't got quite the quite the pieces that I was looking for. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? I would like that flower on there. So luckily for me, I have got that whole Ephemera Mary kit just sat on my desk in amongst all those papers. So, you know, let me just dab this off. Just here to the side. So very easily I can just bring those in. In fact, I have got all these ephemera pieces obviously, but having just seen this piece, I'm kind of thinking actually maybe I should have a bit of that. So perhaps here I should just pop this in the middle and then have this and the postcard. Yeah, so if I just trim that down, I want to cut it roughly there. Let's just trim it down here. Needs to come in quite a lot, I think. Okay, so let's just trim it down here. That was my son. He's just going off out. So he obviously doesn't ever like to speak when I'm doing a video, so he just kind of motions to me from the door. That's what he was doing, just waving, you know, bye mum. So right, okay, yeah, that's cute, isn't it? So I'm going to stick that down here. And this will be our first touch of anything bright in this whole journal, I think. So it's quite nice to use something bright in here. We've got that right. So you can have that like that. This one here, this one here. Okay, so let's stick this piece down. Like that. I'm probably now over my 10 minutes, but we're nearly done. So I'll just quickly try and get this double page spread done. Okay, so let's just tie this back up like that. Right, so I'm just going to stick this down now as a belly band. Like that. Okay.
Check the time. Right.
1 hour, 3 minutes. So we're not too badly over, but you know, nonetheless, I do realise, and so I will now endeavour to get a bit of a move on. So, right. Now I'm wondering whether here we need something, you know, toned down, or, you know, something a bit different. No, not that different. Oh, got that lovely postage stamp. No, but definitely something else. That will be lovely. Right, got a teacup, and I have got this butterfly. Let's just cut out the butterfly. Okay. Right, so we could have that like that. What do you think? Let's try tearing that down a bit. If we have that lower, like that. Right, I don't know what it is. I can't quite get this to look how I want it to look. So with that in mind, again, you know, I'm up to over an hour now, so I will call it quits here and then, you know, come back to that page at a, you know, a later stage. So I hope that you enjoyed the video and got some ideas and things, and yeah, I'll hopefully see you all again soon. So thanks very much for watching. See you again soon. Thanks then. Bye.